everyone, it's me, Cosplay Pikachu. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I felt the need to do this video, because I wanted to do this, and I'd been planning on doing this video for a long time. I just didn't have the time to do this video, or something came up when I was about to do this video, but now I am free. It's Friday night, it's the weekend, so I now have time to make this video for you. So as the title of the video says, this is my coming out story. So since I don't know if the video that I made a long time ago of me coming out is still on here or I deleted it, but since probably a lot of you don't know, I am bisexual. Now, I know this doesn't really have a lot to do with the videos I normally make on here, but I feel the need to make this video. So, how did I sort of figure out I was bisexual? It all started when I was very, very young. Practically when I was becoming a teenager. It was around the time when we were learning about, FLE, basic, our female genitalia, male genitalia, that type of thing, learning about puberty and sex and giving birth to a baby, that type of thing. It was during that time, I was actually still in elementary school when this kind of happened. It was like in between the stage of my last year in elementary school and my first year in middle school. And I was hitting puberty. And as being a teenager, I was curious. At the age of 12, 11, 12, I began to notice that as I was people watching, because I liked people watching as a child, and I still do. To this day, I like people watching. I like, just looking out the window or just staring into the distance. But as I was people watching, I kept on looking at females. I started to notice I was looking at females a lot, not just guys. And I started to look at their asses. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not a pervert. I swear to God, I am not a pervert. But I was, learning. I didn't quite understand why I, for some reason, kept on wanting to look at girls' asses and would not stop staring at them, or like looking at their boobs or their body and feeling something in it that I felt like it was a weird feeling. Like, it was okay for me to look at do this, but at the same time it was like, why am I doing this? This is supposed to be wrong, but yet I'm still doing this. So as I got older and getting into my teenage years, I also got curious about porn. I kept hearing about porn and people watching it and how it was inappropriate, and I also learned about prostitution and all that. And at the age of 12, I started watching porn for the first time. I remember the day very well. It was very late at night, and I was on the computer while everyone else was asleep, and I got curious, and I started searching. I started searching online, or more so, I guess, on YouTube, because as a 12-year-old and just learning about porn and watching porn for the first time, I didn't really know any porn websites. So I went to YouTube. And I just started typing in something that related to porn. And that was also when I got introduced to hentai as well. And as I was watching it, feeling a funny feeling down there, wondering why do I feel weird down there, I also noticed I kept looking, not just looking at the guy who was having sex with the woman, I was also looking at the woman and finding her reactions very attractive. And I also kept looking at her body, and I started to enjoy it at that time. But I wasn't gay. I knew for a fact I was not gay. So I was like, why? In my mind, I was still wondering, why am I so attracted to females? I'm not gay because I also like guys. I didn't know, now mind you, I didn't know there was a term for liking both female and male. So, yeah. So, in high school, later on, I had a friend who came out to her mother in the car as I was in the car with them, going to hang out with her. And she came out to her mom and telling her she's bisexual. And I didn't know what that word meant. I had never even heard of that word until that time. So her mom, asked her, like, what is bisexual? What does that mean? And the way my friend described it was that you like both girls and guys. And at that moment, I was like, oh, so this is what bisexual is. And it didn't really comprehend in my mind that I was bisexual. And I started thinking, I'm like, maybe I'm bisexual, but I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to admit it because, for one thing, my father's side of the family is a very strict Christian family. They are not okay with my father is fine with me being friends with gays and lesbians and bisexuals, but he dead straight. Him and my grandmother are dead straight, not okay with it. They don't want their own children to be gay, bisexual, any of that. And he said clearly to my face at one point, if I ever find out either you or your sister end up being gay or bisexual, your grandmother will have a heart attack and I will disown you from the family. So hearing that, I didn't want to accept the fact that I was bisexual. I was terrified to think that. So I put it behind, in the back of my mind. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't even want to accept it. I didn't want to talk about it. I tried to ignore it. I literally tried to ignore it. I tried to avoid looking at girls. I tried to hide the secret from everybody. I was scared of getting judged. I was scared of, getting kicked out of the house and losing my family. I already didn't have a good relationship with my mother at the time, but I was scared. It was a very terrifying moment of my life, and I was already going through so much stress at school from my group of friends, everybody fighting with each other and losing friends and just constant chaos. And on top of that, my depression was at an all-time high and I was getting very suicidal. It just was a terrible, terrible time during my first 2 years of high school. So later on during high school, it was junior year. I had finally gotten into a new relationship with a guy I thought I loved, and he loved me, and I thought, we were happy. I was happy. And I had admitted to him that I think I am bisexual, but I don't want to confirm it because I felt like I was unsure in a way. And so he's like, well, why don't you try kissing a girl and see if you like it. Well, I was like, I don't know, everybody here, because this was at his birthday party, mind you. He was like, well, why don't you kiss your best friend right there? She's bisexual. She probably won't mind. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to force her to do that. And he just went over and started like begging her and asking her and all that. And she was like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, see, I don't want to force her to do it. And then finally she did. And I blushed. I literally felt myself blush. And it wasn't just from like embarrassment. It was more so the fact that I actually liked it. I actually liked being kissed by a girl. And it was like a realization. So I was like, okay, I guess it was at that moment I kind of just finally accepted the fact that I was bisexual. That boyfriend at the time was really excited and was like, he thought of this as a opportunity to be with other women. That is one thing you need to learn about bisexual people. Just because we like both genders does not mean we are going to be down for open relationships, does not mean we are going to be down with, dating other people. And it also doesn't mean we're going to be down for threesomes. So guys, get that out of your mind. Don't even try. Anyways. So it kind of got awkward during that relationship because he tried to find females for us. He wanted to try to do like a threesome. And I was like, no, absolutely not. No. I'm not doing a threesome with another girl. No, it doesn't work that way. And then he fixed us up with like a girl and started saying that we're dating this girl. And at that point, I kind of just like, I was like, okay, fine. I met the girl. She was really nice and all that. But it just felt weird and it felt awkward. And I was like, this is not okay. I don't like this girl this way. And I don't want to hurt her feelings. And I don't want her to feel deceived that we're dating this person. I told him that and I tried to tell him to break it off with her. And he's like, oh, you're going to hurt her feelings and all that. Anyways, moving on. After I had made the acceptance that I'm bisexual, I decided I was going to come out to two of my closest friends who were like sisters to me. One in particular was the first best friend I ever made when I first moved into the area that I used to live in. And I came out to both of them, and their reaction was not very good. They were very okay. They were like, okay. It was weird. It felt really awkward and weird the way their response was. It was weird. And then after that, they started to act different around me. They didn't talk to me the same way anymore. It was like they were trying to avoid me. They didn't want to talk to me as much. They didn't want to hang out as much. And when we did hang out, it seemed like they were very uncomfortable with me being there. They stopped treating me like I was their friend. It was like almost like my whole world had changed because I had came out. So after that point of coming out to both of them, I stopped. I didn't want to come out to anybody, any other people. So after that, I kind of just like shut it in and didn't want to accept it again. It was a very iffy time during high school. So after that, I started to go to college after I graduated high school. And it was a new environment, new people, didn't know how to really make friends. And then I got introduced to a whole group of people who are now my current friends right now. and I met them. And then finally I decided one day that I was going to come out to them, because I had been around them so long and they were so accepting of anybody who was gay, anybody who was anything like transgender, bisexual, gay, queer, all of that. They were very accepting. So I decided, I remember the day, it was in the cafeteria, and I had, two of my friends were there. One of them I had known since high school. Decided to, I started saying, like, hey guys, I need to talk to you or say something that I need to get off my chest. And I feel like now is the right time. And both of them look at me and they're listening, and I come out and say, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm bisexual. My high school friend was very shocked. His reaction was like, what? Really? Like, he never knew, he never expected that. But my other guy friend, he was very accepting. He was like, okay, that's fine. And he admitted to me later on that he kind of already figured that I was bisexual. He kind of had a hunch, but he didn't want to assume. He kind of just wanted me to probably wait till the right time for me to come out or not. And it was such a warm feeling that I got that really nice reaction, that they were so accepting of who I was. Unlike the people that I was friends with in high school, which unfortunately we're no longer friends anymore, and we've drifted off because of that. They were so accepting of who I was. And at that point, I started being more comfortable of who I was and started coming out. And after that, I had gone out of a relationship. The relationship I had for 3 years with a high school sweetheart. Needless to say, it ended, and I was finally single. I was finally free, and all that, and a whole bunch of my guy friends just felt the opportunity to start confessing their feelings towards me, and it was a really awkward time. And I was like, I just want to wait a while, because I just got out of this really bad relationship, and I don't want to rush into another relationship. And they accepted the fact of waiting. And then finally, I kind of just, after like a month and a half, I got into a new relationship, and that boyfriend at the time also was very accepting of the fact that I was bisexual, and he didn't try to force me or try to convince me to do a threesome. I mean, at times, yeah, he brought it up, but he didn't try to like convince me or try to like do anything. He's like, I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. If you are comfortable with doing a threesome, that is perfectly fine, but that is up to you. So he only brought it like up once or twice, and that was it, because I had also mentioned the fact that I had maybe thought about doing the threesome with him, but that's beside the point. It was then later on, after I had basically been kicked out of my house of my living with my father, I decided to come out to everybody on Facebook and to my mother. I made a huge status basically telling everybody who I was friends with, this is really hard for me to say because of the reaction I got from 2 other people back in high school who I thought were my friends and I guess weren't. And because of the people that I'm friends with now in college, they made me feel more accepting and more comfortable of who I was. So I feel like now is the right time to come out to everybody and let everybody know I'm bisexual. So I came out to everybody. Everybody was very accepting. And I also came out to my mother. And it wasn't over Facebook because she wasn't really connected to Facebook, but I texted her and told her, hey, Mom, by the way, I'm bisexual. And I hope you can accept that and still love me and see me as your daughter. And she's very accepting. She's very accepting. She was very accepting. She was fine with it. She was perfectly fine. She was like, you're still my daughter. I still love you. You're still family regardless. Not to mention the fact that that her sister is gay and has a girlfriend. But now I am at a point where, yes, I am very accepting now of the fact, and I am very forward about the fact that I am bisexual, but I still have not come out to my father. I recently started talking to him again, and I just don't know if I'm ever going to come out to him. I don't know if I want to or not, but I know a lot of people are going to say, do it whenever you feel is comfortable, but I am just worried that I am going to lose him. I'm going to be scared of the fact that he's not going to accept me, which I know for a fact he's not. Then he's not going to speak to me again. He's going to start saying I'm not his daughter and all that, and just basically zone me from his life. Right after I just got him back in my life again. So I'm not really asking for advice. I'm just also saying I don't think I will ever come out to him because I don't want to lose him. And I know I will lose him because he's very stubborn. He's a stubborn Christian man. And there's no changing that. So, yeah. But sorry this video is so long. I know I kind of seemed like I was rambling, but I hope you enjoyed my coming out story, and I hope if you are also waiting for the right time to come out yourself, I hope it made you feel, I hope it was relatable for you and made you feel relatable in a sense and made you feel comfortable and hopefully gave you the courage and strength to come out to your friends and family. But like I said, don't feel like you have to come out. Do it when you feel you are comfortable. Do it when you feel it is the right time to come out. And do it in a sense that you don't care what people think. Try not to think of their reaction. Just do it so if you feel you need to. Don't force yourself. But anyways, that is it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know when that will be, but hey, like I said, I will see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Alright, till next time. Bye.